I've seen more than a few Latino creators target black people to use our voices and our platform to talk about what's happening over in California. The thing is, we all saw the polls and the election results in November 2024. We saw how a lot of you, most of you, the majority of you voted against your interests. You voted against my interests too. Another thing, this is not just a Latino problem. This is a problem for all immigrants that are black and brown. We knew during his campaign what he was going to do. We knew that he hated us. We knew he wanted us out of this country. We knew, and we came out, especially black women, to vote against this. You didn't. I don't want to ask you why. This is your decision, and we all have to live with it now. I'm first generation American. My family migrated here, so I understand what's going on. I understand how scary this is, and I'm worried for my family that's in this country that was not born here. Republicans voted to deport American citizens. They don't even care if you have your citizenship. So my family, who did things the right way, who got their paperwork, who put in the hard work, who have been living here for decades, can get deported off of anything for no reason at all. Here's my message for the frustrated Latinos that think black people, especially black women, that need to step up more for this cause. Do not worry who's not riding for you. Ride harder for yourselves and your community. That's all you can do. That's all you can ask for. Do not call out a community that you've never, ever helped or contributed to. You've never stood up for, you never spoke out for, you never marched for. Stop that. Ride for yourself and support the people that support you.
So today on here, I saw something that really bothered me. A Latino woman basically was asking why the black community isn't there for the Latino community like they were there for us during BLM. Oh boy, y'all might want to buckle up for this one because this is about to be a CM Punk type rant. And in the theme of this Phil Brooks type rant, let me go and say the words that he once said to the universe. Do we have everybody's attention now? Now then, I say that because I find it funny that it takes us stepping back as a community entirely for people to recognize what's going on. Now, notice I said it was funny. I did not say I was shocked. Because this is what always happens. You see, somehow we are always blamed for things, despite the fact that a lot of times it's not our fault. And this one definitely is not our fault. Did you see those voting numbers? We didn't put that piece of shit in office. You did it. But you say you helped us during BLM and that's why we should help you? I don't remember that. Because you see, what I remember is that it took a black man losing his life at a point where the world had no choice but to watch for you to recognize that we go through shit. But you have the gall to sit there and blame us when the only thing that we did was try to prevent this from happening. Hey, I actually have a crazy idea. How about instead of blaming my community, you do what everybody tells us to do and check your own? Because they were the ones with the superiority complexes that made them think that they were better than people that look just like them. And excuse me, but why do we always have to be the ones that have grace for people? Because from where I'm sitting, a lot of people don't show us that same grace when things happen with us. Because the thing is, we read the 900-page document. We researched. We looked into things. I'm not sure we could say the same about you. Now then, I know it's not everybody. So right now, we need as much solidarity as possible, period. Now then, if you want to sit there and point fingers, cool, whatever. But us, we got a world to save. So what you do from this point is up to you.
Well, it seems like the Latino community are obsessed with black people. They can't tolerate the black silence. They still need the black people to fix their mess. And honestly, speaking the truth, or as a matter of fact, the Latino community voted for their own sorts of problems. They voted for this. In November, the black community really told this Latino community, don't vote for Donald Trump. He will definitely, the first move will be to deport your people. And the Latino people were so much obsessed with Donald Trump to an extent, they didn't give a listening ear. They went ahead and voted for Donald Trump. And the black people conceded defeat. They said, okay, we tried our best to warn these people. They didn't want to listen. Now it's our time to go back, rest, and turn our TVs on, turn our social medias platforms on, and let's watch. They are now watching in silence and they're doing nothing about it because the things that are happening right now, they already knew would happen if they voted for the yellow man. So they tried to warn all this Latino community, they did not listen. Now the Latino community are feeling the heat of their votes. They are literally suffering the consequences of their votes. They have now turned their back on black people, blaming them every day that black people, why are you not helping us? Why are you not protesting with us? We are not seeing you on the streets as we used to. We were with you during the Black Lives Matters protest, but you are not standing with us. Oh, hell no. You know what? Black people are resting till further notice according to their message to these Latino people. And they are reminding these Latino people that you did a mistake that you yourselves must correct without our help, because we warned you of these consequences, but literally you didn't want to listen to us. Now, why are you in need of our help now?
On this week's episode of You Have the Audacity to, Latinos asking Black people why they aren't present to help fight against the deportations like Latinos were for the BLM movement. What? The audacity to ask such a question is absolutely insane. First of all, Black people, other Latinos begged you not to vote for this Cheeto, begged you to vote for your own causes. And yet and still, you voted for him. Now here we are, facing mass deportations, and you have the nerve to question Black people? Not your fellow Latinos who casted the vote, not white people, but Black people. Black people who overwhelmingly went to the polls to support the candidate that they wanted, who didn't say she was going to deport Latinos. Do you see the hypocrisy? Also, not to mention, Latinos weren't overwhelmingly involved in the BLM movement. I'm sorry. Well, not that I've seen. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But as far as I've seen in my area, no.
And my thing is, why all the Latino community want to call on the black folk, talking about why we ain't saying nothing and why we... Do y'all need to go back and look at the numbers? Because we went to the voting poll. What you need to be doing is asking your community why them numbers was like that. Because we didn't vote for... I didn't vote for this either. Sorry. Majority black men and black women voted blue. What's going on with the Hispanic vote? Because y'all look like y'all about split down the middle. Don't call our name. We can't help you.
I've seen a lot of discourse online about, the Latinos for Trump, the going back and forth between the Latinos and the blacks. And I will say this, right? Where was y'all antennas when we was in that booth? When we was in that voting booth and we was telling y'all, because we did our research. We read, not all of us, but we read the Project 2025. I skimmed it, right? Read it most in its entirety, took the cliff notes, but this was literally in there. Him saying, we're going to militarize ICE. Like, that was in there. So while everybody was Latinos for Trump and we're going to vote for Trump, y'all fucked around and you found out, right? And then now here we are, supposed to join arms, join in forces on the front line. Baby, we was on the front line at that voting booth. If you scroll back to November on my page, y'all, I'm literally crying, crocodile tears, baby, after I voted for Kamala, right? And I'm like, okay, we're going to do the right thing. That was literally one of the most heartbreaking things to watch. I stayed up. I was in my house crying real tears because there is no way that y'all knew what was going to happen. Or maybe not to this magnitude. Maybe you wasn't expecting it. But now look at you. And y'all want us to come out of the comfort of our home. As y'all can see, we've been line dancing, booting and scooting, minding our business. A couple of us done learned how to pick up that,
That 5, I've been at the gun range myself, trying to make sure that we're prepared, so should something kick off, we know what we need to do, but now we got to stop what we doing to come help. Is you cool? I ain't got nothing for you. Nothing. Thoughts and prayers. Sorrows. What did Trump say? I have concepts of a plan. Concepts. So yeah. God bless you. Good luck.
All right, what is up, you know what I'm saying, gang? And that is, I just want to say to all the black folks in LA, do not participate in helping Hispanics in this, them riots, because they don't want to get deported back to, their country. I'm saying this because, bro, the amount of anti-blackness that goes on into the Latino/Hispanic community is ridiculous. And, it was literally a video of a white dude. It was something about George Floyd, where he was playing We Bathe in N-word blood or some BS like that. The amount of Latino/Hispanics in the comments saying stuff like, oh, we may have our differences, but we can all agree we don't like one demographic. And keep in mind, these are the same people that are asking black folks to come riot and help them. This is not our problem, like, whatsoever. This is a Hispanic/Latino problem, because if it was us, they would never come and aid us whatsoever. These people don't like us at all, and they're never, they want to pander to the people that don't like them just so they can get that acceptance. We've told these people for the longest, hey man, they don't like us, they don't like you either, they don't like nobody. You need to side with us, but no, these niggas sided with them, and these people are showing them that they don't F with them. This is a Hispanic/Latino problem. We need to continue minding our black business.
And there's a reason why you see people on social media sitting here antagonizing black people. Where are the black people? How come they're not supporting our struggle? You see non-black Latinos in comment sections and posting videos. Where are the black people supporting our immigration struggle? You mean the black people that your parents and tias and tios told you don't bring home? You mean those black people? You mean the black people who look like the black people in your community that you ostracize? Oh, do you mean the black Latinos that you fucking pretend don't exist? Maybe that's the black people you're talking about. Okay? So, you see them. Where's black? How come black people are not on the front lines? What you mean you're resting and da-da-da-da? The reason why they want us to go out there is because they want us to be their shield. So that they can start acting a mess, acting a fool, start breaking windows and doing nonsense like that, which, to be quite honest, you should be doing. Let's keep it real, because that's what really revolution is about. But you don't see that happening. Why? Because they don't have the Negro shield. Us.
Have you guys noticed how many Latino influencers are not speaking up? They talk about their raza, their food, dance, the clothes, the makeup, but not one word about what's happening to the gente, to the raza. Not a peep. I have a few theories. Let me tell you two. One, they voted for him. Plain and simple. So they're not going to say nothing. And two, they're afraid of losing followers. You're afraid of losing racist followers? You're afraid of losing self-hating Latinos? Losing Latinos who are cheering on other Latinos getting deported? Families being torn apart? Mixed households being left without the parent? Kids with cancer being sent away, U.S. citizens, deported, kidnapped. You would rather pander to that group. And now for the rest of you, why are you still supporting them? You haven't said one thing about what is going on, and you're still there watching their videos, liking their stuff.
The last few days, there has been this conversation online in where some Latinos are upset that there are some black folk that are not going out to protest. I'm going to hold your hand while I say this, and I ask you to please keep an open mind. If you're Latino and you're upset that you believe that there aren't black people out there protesting in support of the Latino and undocumented community, you need to shut up, because you're wrong and you're pretty much biased. Because the reality is that, yes, there are some black people out there protesting together with Latinos. So I don't know why you're so focused on some people online saying that they're not going to go out there. When in reality, you got to remember that it was a majority of members of our own community that voted to elect the fool that's in presidency right now. And that the majority of black folk were against the current president right now. And that was reflected in the election polls. So instead of believing this narrative that seems to be existing online, go out there in the street and you'll see that there are black people protesting with Latinos. So either you need probably more black friends or to be around more black people to realize that yes, they are out there and that there are current black folks showing their support. You need to understand that Latinos are not a monolith. Black folk are not a monolith. and putting this expectation on another group when members of our own group are the ops. Understand that a lot of the movements we see today, black folk organizing, have been the template for that. And do not ever forget that the 14th Amendment that gives us, the children of immigrants, the right to be U.S. citizens by being born here on U.S. soil is thanks to black people who have advocated, who have protested to be treated like U.S. citizens in a country that did not see them as such during its foundation.
How come none of these Latino celebrities ain't speaking up on what's going on? Wasn't J-Lo viral like last week? She got a big platform and she got nothing to lose. So either or, she ain't losing nothing. She's already washed. And let's not talk about Bad Bunny. That's like y'all version of Michael Jackson. In the Latino community, y'all talk about that dude like a god. And he ain't even saying nothing about what's going on. Bad Bunny. And you know why? Because Bad Bunny Puerto Rican. Just like J-Lo is Puerto Rican. They can't get deported. Don't tell me y'all didn't learn that in school, that Puerto Ricans can't get deported. Just like black Americans. But y'all always out there wanting black people to be your guard dogs. You're always out there wanting black people to be your human shields. And you know what? Your own kind don't even protect you. Jennifer, not J-Lo, Jennifer, the governor of Puerto Rico, right now as we speak, she turning all the information of undocumented immigrants over to the Trump administration. The Mino Black Dominicans, y'all about to pack y'all bags and leave Puerto Rico. But anyway, shout out to Bad Bunny of Puerto Rico. Yeah, that used to be the cut of Puerto Rico. One more thing. This is Jennifer, the governor of Puerto Rico. You think she's going to miss some meals over some Dominicans? She turning that information over ASAP Rocky.
And honestly speaking, I think black people should be left alone because they wanted a better future for this Latino community because, black people can't be deported. Yeah, they are citizens of the United States. And they knew that majority of these Latino people can somehow be deported when they vote for this man. The Latino are now suffering the consequences. We've seen them during campaign time. They were voting. They were composing songs, campaigning for Donald Trump. But then 2 months later, the same people who were singing for him during campaign periods were deported. Their husbands were being detained. Their children were being detained by ICE. All because their mistake was to vote for Donald Trump. And all this and others, the black people had already foreseen the future. They had already seen that these things probably they are going to happen. So let's not vote for Donald Trump. Let's at least try and vote for change and future of this country. At least let's make the American dream be valid, not turning it into a nightmare. We can turn the American dream into a nightmare by voting for this man. Now, look at the things that are happening right now in the US. Food stamps, the government shutdown, massive firing, no federal workers are not being paid. Tariffs are there. Farmers are filing for bankruptcy. Farmers already lost their workforce through immigrants and mass deportation policy. You see the border policy is affecting the Latino community, and all this thanks to the Latino community and any other MAGA supporters that voted for this administration that the black people had already warned them. 98% of black women, 92% or 92% of black women voted against this administration. They knew these things were going to happen, so they didn't want to vote for this. And 78% of black men also voted against this administration because they knew if we vote right, we can vote for a woman who will change this country, who will not deport this Latino community, who will serve the country's right. But the Latino did not want to see this. They thought, let's support our yellow man. When he imposed these policies, we will be an exemption. He will realize that we supported him and he will exclude us from his rulings. And now look at the Latino community right now. They are complaining, crying every day, ranting, asking for black people's help, asking where are the black people. But the black people, they are saying, we did what we did in November. It's our time to rest until further notice. Subscribe and tell me what you think about them.